Today, I'm delighted to welcome Saurabh to the show. Saurabh is a graduate from the University of Washington. This episode is called Navigating the Unknown. We explore the experience of a college graduate, particularly those from lower income backgrounds, as they navigate career paths, family expectations, and financial pressures. Welcome, Saurabh. It's so good to have you here.
Thank you so much for the warm introduction and the warm welcome. Happy to be here.
Start by you telling us a little bit about yourself.
Right, yeah. So, hey folks, I'm Saurabh Patil. I'm currently based out of Seattle, Washington. I am right now a product manager at PayPal, and I am also, I would say, a graduate from University of Washington, as Sandy mentioned. Previously, I did my, I would say, undergrad from University of Mumbai in computer engineering. So I'm based out of Mumbai originally. And after that, I had a work experience for 4 years at Oracle as a technical consultant. So that's my career journey so far.
Let's talk about your early life and influences. So, what's one key experience or challenge from your upbringing that shaped you to go and study in the US and do your master's?
Yeah, there are, I would say, a lot of examples that have influenced me to make the decisions or jump decisions. Practically, one thing that I see was most of my college mates, right after the undergrad, straight away went for their master's journey. So they just finished off their undergraduations, they went off for their master's journey, and then they got the job over there and they started, I would say, the career path over here. What I initially thought was I wasn't sure what part do I wanted to pursue, whether it's going to be computer science, whether it's going to be MIS, whether it's going to be something else altogether. So I decided to take a step back, went into the industry, tried to gain some sort of experience. So I did my, I would say, work experience in technical consultant at Oracle. And after that, I realized that, okay, MIS is making more sense for me. So that's one of the key part that helped me understand, okay, this is the right career path for me. This is where I should do my master's journey. So that made me clear on, okay, this is the career path that I want to go forward with. Alongside that, I know you mentioned me as the second, I would say second generation graduations. And, uh, there is a term in US very famous, which is like the first graduate of their family. I do not hold that title because that title belongs to my mother, and
Yeah.
she, even I would
Your
say in her
mother?
mid 40s. Yes, my mother is the first graduate from my family. She has done masters in arts, so she's the
Oh,
first graduate.
that's amazing.
Yeah, yeah. So yeah, I couldn't be more proud of that. She did it when she was in, I think, in mid 40s with two children and a full-time job. And I wonder
What
if
an
she is able to do that.
inspiration.
What's stopping me from taking this step? So that's one of the key influences for me.
Oh, that is so incredible. I love to hear that. Yeah, so to everybody listening, don't let age or stop you from doing your masters. If Saurabh's mom can do it, so
Yeah.
can you.
Yes.
Yeah.
Yeah, I would say that. Oh, it's yeah, I might be the first to do masters abroad in the USA, but yes, I know my mother's the first to do it.
Was that part of what inspired you? Or was her story an inspiration for you to do your masters?
Certainly, yes. Like, despite I would say she wanted to do masters of graduate because it would help her progress in her career path. So I realized, okay, if people in the mid 40s can challenge themselves, what like people in our mid 30s or I would say in the early 20s, why can't they do it? So yeah,
Wow,
I
I'm
went
sure
for
she's
that.
so proud of you, just as much as you're proud of her. I'm sure she is so proud of you. Tell us a little bit more about your family's background. What are their expectations of you, and how did that influence your educational path?
Yeah, so a bit about my family. I come from a rising middle class family in Mumbai. So yes, both my parents work for the Indian government. So my dad works for the central government, my mom works for the state government, and both of them had I would say a modest upbringings. So I was a
Mm.
part of a rising middle class where I would say we went from the lower middle class family to I would say upper middle class family. So I have seen the struggles. I have seen what it takes to get to your dreams, what it takes to, persevere the hard work. And im-
Mm.
that is something that my parents imbibed in me from the earlier beginning. I would say I never had, I would say, taken everything, for granted. I did all the efforts that I could do, all the hard work, whether it's in academics, whether it's in social circles, whether it's an extracurricular. I did my best to be everywhere and tried until I realized, okay, this is where I should move forward with my career path. Because that's when I think if you explore a lot of things, that's when you realize that, okay, this is where you're fitting in the well. Yeah, fitting in well. So that's where I would say took my journey towards.
Amazing. So early in your study abroad journey, you already knew what career you wanted to pursue.
In my earlier career journey, no, I would say so. I did my undergrad in computer engineering. So natural progression for most of the people would be to do something in masters in computer science, computer engineering, masters in artificial intelligence, because that's also a degree nowadays. So and data science. So there are a lot more technical degrees. What
Mm.
I realized was, yes, I could do technical stuff. Yes, I can code for us. Yes, I can build softwares and applications. But that is not the part that was giving me the most excitement about. What helped me was one of the projects that I took up when I was doing a data science course. And that data science course helped me realize the power of technology and how it can help influence the business decisions. Okay, so that project was mostly about finding the probability of, I would say, the person who is going to donate the blood for the second time. So, there are blood donation camps that happens across, I would say, across the world. But yes, this was specifically for
Blood,
Mumbai.
blood donation?
Yes, blood donation
Okay. Oh,
camps.
where you
Yeah.
donate blood.
Yes,
Okay.
exactly.
Okay.
Right. So they had this registry of database and they were trying to look at what are the probability of the chances that this person might be able to donate the blood for the second time. So we will put them in the national donors list where they, in case of emergency, if this person is nearby, maybe we can give a call back. The emergency services can give a call back to them based on their blood group type, based on their age, based on their any health conditions they have. So
Yeah.
that made me realize, wow, this set of information, when you convert it into, I would say, a data that can be helpful for, saving someone's life,
Life.
that
Yeah.
made me realize the power of, using technology as a means of business. So that's
Yeah.
what my, I would say, journey path inspired me that, okay, this is the journey path that I want to do. And right now, as I would say, I'm not in data science, but I'm in product management, which I would say I'm using the business, I would say business data or the tech data to drive the business decisions so that,
Mm.
we can make, I would say, business revenue, we can make, our users happy. So that's, I would say, my career journey or the career path that has inspired me to be at where I am.
Wow. So you're out there saving lives, Saurabh.
Right now, not right now. I've been a little short of that, but yes, I do want to, I would say, one of my goals is definitely to work towards, helping the social community and social justice. So yes.
Absolutely. And your masters helped you, helping
My
you get to that
masters,
point.
yes, masters did give me a lot of exposure to the different set of individuals, the different set of, I would say, their experiences. So, working with I mean, United States, it's such a vast community of individuals from different backgrounds, from different people around the world.
Mm.
They bring with their own set of experiences, their own set of cultural identities, and working with
Mm.
them and understanding the nuances of how you interact with a certain set of individuals. How do they see, I would say, a certain set of things, and how
Mm.
it you try to make sense of it. So that's really quite inspiring, I would say, and that's
Mm.
did help me from my master's journey to understand people's expectations, people's expertise, people's background.
Mm.
Yeah, that is, I would say, some one of the key things that I looked at, I know,
Mm.
when I was doing my master's.
I think that's so interesting. You come from Mumbai, from India, you leave your home country, you go to the US, to Washington, Seattle, and it's a completely different environment. Tell us about that.
Yes. I would say this might not be the first time that I have left my home. I did left initially for a few months from my home for a job in a city called as Pune, which is not much far from Mumbai, but yes, I did live for a few months.
But
So
is it
that
your first
has,
time leaving India?
yeah, this is my first time living in
Okay.
India. I would also actually take a step back and say this might be my first flight of my life. So
Oh,
I
wow.
have never flown a plane before, and this was my first flight from, I would say, Mumbai to Seattle, a long 18 hour flight. But obviously there is a layover, but yes, that was my first flight. So I have never been on an aeroplane. So coming from that, I would say to transition from a city like Mumbai to a city like Seattle, I would say yes, there was a lot of cultural shocks. One definitely being, okay, if you know a bit about Mumbai, you know that city, it's kind of like a New York, that city that never sleeps. You have conveniences, you have things available all around the clock.
Such a
And coming to
vibe.
Seattle, yeah, it's the vibe, yes. And coming to Seattle, I think this might be because we were coming straight during the time when the pandemic has just ended. So I would say, I mean, I would say there was a second wave of COVID, but I would say there was still, I would say, the after effects of pandemic were still there.
Mm.
So we were surprised to see so much of, I would say, things that gets closed down very early around 8 o'clock. And we were the kind of individuals who used to, go around even 12 o'clock in the night or 1 o'clock in the night to get
Yeah.
stuff, and there will still be places running. That
Yeah.
was, I would say, something I did not anticipate that, okay, in US, people do, tend to close down their shops early. And that's when I started to realize this concept of they have like a work-life balance thing.
Mm.
So your work, yes, you do your work, but there is also something that sets you apart from your work,
Yeah.
which I would say in some of the Asian countries, probably I think that is not really the case. The work defines your identity a lot. And over here, the person defines his identity. It's not the work. A work is just a side product. So that's something
Mm.
that got me interested more about knowing, okay, how do people in, the Western countries try to live? So
Mm.
it's not, okay, he has a job, that's fine. But apart from that, he has this much, he's studying, he's doing a master's degree, he has, I would say, career in sports, he can do some side hobbies, they usually go out. So all sort of things. That is what I think I found very interesting about the people over here. Yeah.
Mm. Wow, that is so fascinating. And you raise such a good point. I know even like it's so hard to know when to switch off. You
Mhm.
constantly working around the clock.
Yeah.
And it's almost hard to set those boundaries. How did you overcome that? Were you able to adapt to setting those boundaries and switching off?
So yes, to some extent, I did learn when you should establish a boundary. That's, I would say, it obviously something that you learn from experience. And I think in my previous job itself, I was not someone who used to, stretch all my time in my work hours itself. I have other things. I would say, have family, my siblings, my parents. I think I can spend time with them. I
Yeah.
also was preparing for my master's, so yes, I needed time to focus on my studies and preparing for my master's journey as well. Apart from that, I also wanted to learn a lot of things, whether it's related to my health, fitness, and whether it's related to athletics. There is also, I would say, uh, interesting TV shows around that time. I think Game of Thrones was quite a big hit during that time. So
Which
yes,
one?
I have a Game of Thrones. I don't know if you have watched.
Stones. Oh my gosh,
Yes,
yes,
of
of
course.
course.
Yes. So yes, I would say that I wanted to have like a life where a work is not going to be the only defined, because
Yes.
today I've seen stories where, like a person, they had, I would say, heart, not heart, I would say the health crisis at work.
Mm.
And the next thing that happened is they got immediately replaced by someone with a fit bust. That came as uh, I would like I would say I was shocked to find out that, okay, you can easily get replaced at work and the company won't think twice about you. So that defines that, okay, what's the reason for you to invest so much in your work? Yes, I'm not saying that, okay, do not do your work, but yes, try to have like a balanced lifestyle where work is not just going to be your only factor in life. You have other things, amazing things to also to take a look at.
Wow,
So
yeah. I think a
yes,
lot of international students, might find this challenging. You move to a different country, or even if you're starting at a job, you want to overcompensate by giving so much of yourself. That's
right.
such a good point. How do you spend? You mentioned, you like to watch TV, or you like to zone out on some Game of Thrones, and you focus on your health. What sports or activities do you do?
Yes, working out, going on a run. Sometimes, my roommates and me, we used to go for playing soccer, badminton was the one. So every university in US I have seen, they have, I would say, their own fitness centers for their athletes who play college football. So
Yeah.
if you're a student, you get to use those facilities, albeit at some cost, but that's obviously covered in your fees. So try to use those facilities as well. Keep a check on your health, on maintaining fit uh, because I would say this would be yes, you will obviously have. I know the international students face a lot of pressure when it comes to the jobs, when it comes to, I would say, the careers path, and yes, there are. All right. Yeah, right. So they face a lot of situations on that, but again, yes, there would be an extent up to what time you would be able to, get to focus. For example, I know a time where since I was not getting an internship, I was keeping on applying applications after applications. And then I realized, okay, there are no more applications to do. So what should I do in that case? You won't stay up and digging up applications, right? So we just left our houses. We go any places around Seattle. Seattle is such a beautiful city, in during the summers as well as during, I would say, the closer fall winters. I would say the city is really amazing. So we went around across the cities, have some, I would say, local cuisines over here. There is not much in local cuisines in Seattle. Like obviously there's Starbucks, but yes, so that's really there, of course. So yes, I would say go out, talk to people, talk with your friends, hang out with them. That's also something that you should have in balance with whatever the academics, whatever the career options you have. And do tend to know, yes, the market in the past few years obviously has given a trend where, yeah, you really people are not getting callbacks for internship. People are not really getting, I would say, the careers that they wanted. But yes, having a balanced life still does not, you know, still is going to take you in a longer run. Is going to be better for you in the longer than, just focusing on the work, on the careers and the study.
This is actually a topic that is so important, and I don't think we talk enough about.
Mhm.
I'm fortunate I connect with the community, the Prodigy Finance community a lot, and we talk about it like, oh, I'm struggling to find a job, but nobody really explains the impact that it actually has on your mental health. And so I think that's some really incredible advice, Saurabh. Prioritize your mental health. Go out there, meet your friends at Starbucks, have a coffee, go for that run, join the fitness club. The university has all of those facilities. And like you mentioned, it's included in the fee, so make use of it.
Right.
How did you manage the financial realities? I know you come from a middle class family and your parents have good jobs in India. But did you experience any financial challenges studying abroad, especially in the USA? Can be so expensive. How did you manage and overcome that?
Yeah. One I want to say is that I self-funded my entire education. So what I knew was I didn't want it to, be a financial burden to my parents. I did not want it to take money from them. I wanted to do this on my own because Yes, doing a bachelor's was definitely, my father forced me. Yeah, you have to get into computer engineering. You're definitely gonna be an engineer. So that's when I think, yeah, that's what my father paid for my fees over there. But doing the master's was entirely my own decision. So I realized the finances regarding my master's journey should be completely on me. That said, there was, I would say, times when I was evaluating, okay, my father might have to pay interest. So there were, I would say, couple of options in India where, I was getting some loan amount with some sort of interest, but the interest will be paid by my parents. And then there was Prodigy Finance, which, you know, it's entirely up to me how I'm going to pay the entire education fees. So I naturally was inclining towards going for Prodigy Finance because I can, you don't need any collateral. You don't need a cosigner. You would just say, give your I-20 amount. You just give your, I would say, income streams that you have during that time. And definitely on the basis of that, you can just, I would say, get the loan disbursed into your university account or then your bank account as well. So that was the option I selected. And yes, the fees were tremendous for, I would say, for the 2 years of my programs. I was going for the 2 years, and Seattle itself being a high cost of living city. So that's kind of like, I would say, difficult to manage expenses at time. Thankfully, I was able to get an on-campus job that helped me, I would say, helped me with my living expenses for the short while. So yes, I was able to manage but the living cost completely by myself, the on-campus job.
Amazing.
Yes, for my university fees for the 2 years, so I took the loan only for 1 year. For the second year,
Mhm.
I decided to use up the saved amount from my loan plus my internship amount to pay off for the fees for my second year. So a combination of my internship stipend that I got. By the way, I also did my internship at PayPal as a product manager intern. So yes, so did help me, save up a lot of amount. Plus the savings from Prodigy Finance that helped me cover my 2 years of the loan. So by the end of my, I would say, master's journey, I was literally like a Michael Scott holding, I declare bankruptcy. So that's what really I would say. I was really at that point in my life where I was hoping for my full time to get started so I can start paying back my loan, have my living expenses because by the time I don't have any source of income. So yes, I had that stress, but I knew eventually that money is gonna come. So I just
Yeah.
had patience with it, and yep, that's how I deal with it. But yes,
And
strategy finance, yes, was really helpful in those regards. Yeah.
oh, I'm so happy to hear that. What about so we came through with the financial support. What other what other support did you take on campus? And how crucial was that for your success as an international student?
So yes, on campus, you obviously do get a lot of support in terms of not just, I would say, academics. Yes, definitely. If you have academics, you reach out to your professors, you reach out to your TAs. They will be helping you with your academics. With respect to career, now here are two things. You would have campus support like the on-campus services center where they can help you with your resume, they can help you with your mock interviews. But the thing that is different from what we used to face in India compared to what you have in US. In India, you have campus services which will help you, get the companies through your door. So you just have to interview, you just have to clear assessments, and you are given off job.
Hmm.
Over here, all that part you have to do it yourself. And I think this was something that even one of my program coordinators brought up. Why are people so confused that okay, we are going to guarantee them a job? While we never
Hmm.
advertise anything like that. So this is something I would say a lot difference in how things work in India compared to in US. In US, you have to the services will prep you for the job, but you would need to go and get the job yourself. You have to apply for the job. You have to, get your job through either referral, through
Yeah.
direct applications, through reaching out to recruiters, career fairs. Yes, those are another options where you can, put forward your pitch and your resume. And I would say if the company likes you, they will reach out to you for further application process. So career wise, yes, you get a support in the university, but do not consider, I would say, to students outside of the US that they are going to guarantee you a job. You will have to work for the job. This is not something I would say handed off to you, like
Yeah.
you used to get it back home. Right. So that's about the career services. And the second part of career services is you have school alumni, you have, I would say, people in the industry. So more than that, I would say many people are willing to help out a fresh graduate student out of college, compared to a working professional. Like right now, if I go and ask for someone's time, it would be a bit more difficult. But as a student, I used to get that, I would say, benefit of, reaching out to people, cold emailing them on LinkedIn,
Mm,
uh, and even over emails that, hey, I am looking for transitioning from technical consultant to product management, and I would really and I saw that you have the same career path. Would it be possible for you to share some advices, or I would say, how do I present myself so that I can get to the job of product manager? So those networking, those calls, I would say, do help me in shaping up my resume, shaping up my answers for the career path that I wanted to choose. And that, I would say, yeah, people out there, yes, not all of them would be helpful. Not everyone is going to be available straight outright. Like if I look at it right now, I am really fortunate that people were able to help me out because I try to do the same things and I'm finding it difficult with managing with respect to job as well as, helping out people in the industry. So people
mm.
who are, I would say, in the undergrads, but I still try to do my best to get, I would say, help out individuals.
Amazing. So you're just returning the favor, like you got help and now you the one giving help.
Yes, no, no, definitely. I would say that's how I would say the cycle should continue.
Yeah, yeah. Yeah, and I guess if you have never left your home country, um, it can be so overwhelming. And just to get support from someone who's been through your shoes before, I'm sure it can be so super helpful for anybody.
Yeah.
Yeah. Sorry.
Okay. I'll yes, I will say yes. These people who I reached out to, they helped me not just with my, I would say, career experience as well, but navigating the life through US. Okay, how do you manage your academics, career, and everything in balance? So
Mm,
yes, that is something that I was able to get help from them. Understand, okay, this is how you should navigate it. And right now, yes, that's how I would say the help should carry forward. But yes,
yeah. Yeah. I'm so thankful that, networking and mentorship is such a thing at the moment.
right.
I mean, I don't know how it was a couple of years ago, but, when I speak to some of the older mentors, it wasn't like that before. They kind of just needed to figure and navigate things out by themselves. Thankfully, you can literally reach out to anybody on LinkedIn, and they're willing to help. So let's move on to currently where you are. You're a product manager at PayPal. I mean, that's huge.
Yep, yep. I would say yes, this is one of the dream companies. And I remember telling my roommate when I was, I would say, when we both were applying for jobs that, PayPal, uh, I should get a call back from PayPal because we have very similar experiences. I would say, very
Yeah.
fit for the fintech experiences. I also worked in Oracle on the financial services side. And I said that, yes, I should definitely get a call back from PayPal. Cut to the chase. I'm at PayPal.
How does your dad feel about it? I know he wanted you to be an engineer.
Uh, I would say my dad is happy with the way I have progressed my career so far. So I'm definitely not an engineer. I'm a product manager right now. It's definitely someone who sits in between the engineer and the business folks. So
Yeah.
it's a techno-functional role. Uh, I would say I'm super happy about the career path that I have progressed around. But yes, Asian parents, Indian parents, yes, you still can do better. And I also feel like, yes, I can do more better. I would say I can go more further in my career path, but yes, that's a story for the different.
Tell us
Yes.
what are you looking ahead to? Like, what would you like to do if not being a product manager?
Right. So, during my master's journey, I worked on, I would say, a project from Microsoft that was for AI for accessibility, which is basically helping people with disabilities. So how we can actually help them get the right information about the accessible technologies, or if there are any government schemes that can help, the people with disabilities. So people who have an visual impairment, people who have hearing impairments, how can we actually, help them get to the sister tech, get to the right means of technology,
Mm.
right? So that inspired me that I not just want to, work for the big companies and everything. I also want to do some community work, I would say social community, because uh, my inspiration for my master's was definitely, that blood donation, the story that I told you about, and that imbibe me that, okay, yes, I want to contribute more towards the social causes going forward. So definitely, I would say yes. At PayPal, I get the opportunities by working with. I would say there are NGOs collaborating with PayPal, of course. So I get a chance to work with those NGOs at times, running their campaigns, running the marketing campaigns, running their, I would say, finances so that they can sustain themselves and help the individuals with needs. So that's really, I would say, more I'm where I'm inclining towards. Like I want to help the communities more by uplifting them.
You're an angel. We need more people like you. More people that are not just in it for the money or the status or the power, but are really in it to make an impact and change the lives of others. Rod, thank you so much for talking to us today. It's been so incredible chatting to you. Do you have any last, words of encouragement for our listeners?
Yes, to the folks who are looking to transition and who are kind of scared about what if we fail, you're not gonna find out if you don't try it. You're not gonna, find out whether this job is right for me until you apply for it. You're not gonna find out if, will I be able to get to the next step of my career without, taking the step forward for it. So that take that step. That's what I would say. Don't be hesitant. Don't be, I would say, skeptical about what people will think, because people will think irrespective of whatever you're gonna do. If even if you don't do, people are gonna talk about it. Even if you, I would say, take the step, yes, people are gonna talk about it. So let those talks be turned into the positive talks that, okay, yes, this person has done some amazing work by taking the step. Yes, even if they are not successful, they have taken that step, and that taking that step is something that matters a lot rather than, staying in your own comfortable zone. So step out of your comfort zone and take that step.
Well, thanks for tuning in to this episode of the International Student Podcast by Prodigy Finance. Remember, your future is within reach. With the right knowledge and support, you can achieve your dreams. If you're ready to take the next step, visit our website at prodigyfinance.com to learn more about your funding options and to start your application today. Don't forget to like, share, and subscribe to our podcast. Until next time, keep learning, growing, and dreaming big. Woo!
Oh my God. Oh,
You-
was I good? Was I
it was
you so